Salam. Phoenix Ramadan L. Jackson back in the light of Brazeera Cyber Network. Tonight's program, let's get to it. Okay, here we go. At this time of this magnificent Leo full moon, I would again like to passionately welcome you back to the light of Brazeera. Tonight's conversation is about the expression of passion. Things you love and things you dream of loving, right? Okay. Anyway, so we have all been witnesses to all of the horrible current events along with all the chaos it has caused around the world. We are also aware of the challenging events that are anticipated to take place, whether it be events be prophetic or climate change, Fukushima, which threatens to annihilate the entire planet, or the collapse of the dollar, or even shortage of water, right? Yeah. One thing is for certain, it's going to take a great deal of passion to aid in saving our home, our earth, okay, and those we love, okay, those ones, and our loved ones, which is humanity, right? This means passionately watering those seeds that were planted, okay, in global harmony, okay? Now, those seeds that were seeking peace, prosperity, and tolerance for all cultures is a must, okay? Watering them is a must. Watering them with passion, with love, with intention, okay, is a must. Okay, now, those spiritual seeds that were passionately planted at the Cancer new moon in July, which was Ramadan, okay, okay, and water those seeds that were again passionately watered again at the Cancer full moon in December, right? Okay, because everybody was out there marching, right? In Ramadan, they were marching against the genocide that was taking place in Palestine, and it was hot out there. It was exceedingly hot out there, and there were people as old as 90 some odd years old. I remember seeing a 90 some odd year old woman marching, okay, with the protesters, and she was on her walker. And there was another very much elderly person who was making clothing for the children in Gaza. And also we got to remember what was going on in Nigeria as well, and all parts of the world. Mike Brown, they were protesting Mike Brown, where Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson were and others were leading that march, and we got to give them props. So for Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, I love to rev Big Al, right? And my father, I call him my father. Reverend Jesse Jackson. Okay, now they were out there, and they're still seeking justice for those victims of police abuse of power. Okay. Now, so we're going to go back to where I was. What did we say? So this means, again, we got to water those seeds. Okay, no, we were at the protest. Okay, we were at the protest. Okay, we were talking about the protest, where we were planting our seeds for peace. Okay, and again, we planted seeds in December, right? December full moon, right? Cancer full moon. Now, so all the spiritual seeds we want to see manifested, all those spiritual seeds that were planted at the Cancer new moon and the Cancer full moon in the Cancer new moon in Ramadan, and the Cancer. Oh, because well, no, this is where I was too. Because also during Ramadan, it is stated that anyway, during Ramadan it's stated that the heaven opens up, okay, and the gates of hell are closed. So when you are planting seeds in Ramadan, you are actually planting your seeds in Jannah, and Jannah means heaven, okay, in Arabic, okay. Okay, we want to see those seeds manifested in Virgo, at the Virgo full moon, okay, and that should be coming after, I think that's going to be March 5th, yeah, let me do my, okay, anyway, yeah, excuse me, I just burped, anyway, so we want to see those manifested when, at the Virgo, when the Virgo full moon gives birth to the new moon, the Aries new moon, right, okay, and guess what's also going to happen? There's going to be, which always takes place though, but you know, the spring equinox, right? Where the time, the daylight is equal on both sides of the east and western hemisphere, right? So that's going to be there as well. And then, and also, and then that's in March, right? Okay. But anyway, and also what's going to happen in March, right, is, the Uranus in Aries squaring Pluto in Capricorn is going to end, and that has been going on for years, okay, and that when Uranus is in oh well, what Uranus represents. Uranus represents change, okay. And in Aries represents the energy of Aries, okay? The energy of Aries represents action, right? So it's got action-packed change. And through this galactic shift, we have been experiencing action-packed change, right? And Pluto represents transformation as well. So those two together, major league transformation, and we have been going through major league transformation with all these shifts, right? These global shifts, and what representing the commercial paradigm ending, and the commercial consciousness ending, and going back to the natural mind, or the natural more harmonious, you know, global consciousness. Okay, so that's going to end in March. Okay, so we should have that, all of our seed planting, our spiritual seed planting that we did above the belt in the celestial sphere, right? Hoping to communicate to well, I won't go that far, but right now ahead. But all those you know, those seeds, you know, those prayers, that the actions, the deeds, the marching, the protests, you know, for human rights, you know, for life, for the planet, for the environment, you know, we should see some manifestation in March. We should see some sprouts, but we got to be careful, because remember, sprouts are tender, they're young. We don't want them to be, we got to protect them. We've got to protect our advances, because we do have them. There's no way forces that went against, you know, the protest, you know, the planters, the seed planters, the spiritual, there's no way that those who went against, let's say, the planting of the spiritual seeds can win at this point. Okay, we have to continue to water our spiritual garden, as Janet Jackson, the planet, so eloquently, you know, sang about, you know. Yeah, they're going to be sprouts, right? So we have to protect them. Everyone should see something, you know, hopefully, inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, should see some relief, you know, at that point. Some growth. That's some growth. Everyone should see some growth. And then they can take that growth and utilize it in their life. You know, just like if the wheat grows, you harvest it, right? And you come bring it in the house and you bake bread. Well, same thing here. You're going to get the growth, and from that growth, you utilize it to enhance your life, right? To bring greater prosperity, right, into your life. And we want greater global prosperity, greater global peace, okay, because we have collectively grown, okay? And it would be graduation time, ascension time in March, right? March 20th, okay. Anyway, so that's what we're expecting. That's what we want to see occur March 5th, because that is the Virgo full moon, right? But we're still here in the Leo full moon, right? But we want to talk about how much passion we want to apply. We want to shower on our seeds, nurture our spiritual seeds, water our spiritual garden, our Zen garden, okay, that's planted above the belt that no one can touch, right? Okay, so we should see something great, but as I said, it's got to be protected. If you have a new mindset, okay, you got to protect that. You got to protect that your growth, your own personal growth. You got to protect it. You cannot transgress, okay, back to or digress, you know, back to 2000 and what 2010. Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is you can't digress prior to the Pluto Uranus squaring, okay, or the galactic shift. You can't digress because you can't turn the universe around, okay? We can't go past that comet Ison, right? We can't go past the comet Alanon, right? We can't make them go back from where they came. The universe has changed, grown, okay? And we must expand. Well, we have expanded, but we should come into consciousness, be aware of our growth at the Aries, or when arise, right? At the it's Aries new moon, okay, when Virgo gives birth to her baby girl, right? Okay, because we won't go there anyway. Anyway, okay, so we talked about that, the squaring and ending. Okay. Oh, and I hope I said that. Yeah, that Leo would still be in Leo. Oh my gosh, so much good stuff. Leo will still be in. No, not Leo, but Jupiter. Okay, because these are big planets, so they have big energy, major league energy, right? And if we go by Einstein's theory of relativity, E equals mc squared, right? Okay, mass having the mass, what is it? Energy equaling mass. Okay, well, we want to go with that formula. Okay, I'm gonna try to think about it right now, but go with Einstein's theory of relativity about how much energy is in mass, right? Okay. So Jupiter being a major, huge planet, okay? So it's got a lot of energy, right? And it's in the constellation of Leo, right? So that means if it's in the heart, then our heart, we should see our heart compassion expand greatly, right? Because that's what the seeds that we planted, right? So we should see those, the fruition of those seeds in March, right? When the sun arises, right? Because that's what Aries means. It means the rising of the sun, the rebirth of the sun, okay? And man arises again when we won't go there. Awesome, okay? Anyway, so there's been the transformation going on between Uranus and in Aries, and Aries is the action-packed planet, right? Yeah. And so Uranus is in Aries, the constellation of Aries, okay? Because we got to have some location of where these planets are, okay? So it's not so much to say that, okay, we're following astrology. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the planets, okay? And we have to understand why certain things were created. Okay, that's thinking outside the box. The commercial box. Commercial box don't want you to think about that because it's a challenge for them, because now you're independent thinker. You're living your own life. You're, well, you know, according to, you know, Allah, God, you know, but they don't want that. So they tell you, you know, that stuff is, you're not to understand that. But you gotta understand the universe. You gotta understand how it works, right? So you can prosper. Okay, so now, as I said, Leo, Jupiter is in Leo, the constellation of Leo, and Jupiter has a lot of planet, energy, because it's a huge planet, and we already talked about the, you know, the theory of relativity as it relates to mass, as it relates to how it equals energy, right? So that being said, it has a powerful effect, okay? And the heart chakra, and the heart chakra represents the sun, okay? It represents the sun, so therefore, and Leo represents the sun, so the Leo represents the heart chakra. Therefore, the heart should be expanded, and we should see some type of manifestation in March, right? Okay, so we're moving on. Okay, now, so this means it will be the last phase of the global transformation when the Uranus in Aries, the planet Uranus in Aries, squaring Pluto in Capricorn ends, right? It's going to be a day of celebration. People are going to see weights lifted off of them. It's going to feel like, you know, coming back to life, coming back from the dead, because that again is what the equinox represents. The sun coming back to life and born again. Okay, that's what it represents. That's why you have Easter in April. Okay, because that's when the door opens, right? And Ramadan, we said the door of heaven opens up, right? So all these things mean to have significance, but you're not supposed to know, because you're supposed to be too consumed below the belt with below the belt activities, right? With below the belt intercourse rather than above the belt intercourse. Okay, so you're not to know that, what that means, to be born again means. It really means when the sun it passes, you know, when the equinox occurs and the sun arises again, okay, above the the equator, I believe it is. Could be, I don't know. I'll have to edit that part out if I'm wrong. But I won't. Somebody just correct me again. Anyway, but it does mean the sun's reborn again, because, and I won't go into further about that because that's going to go too far off topic. But anyway, it does mean the sun is born again. The sun is born again, right? So we have Easter, okay, and what, the Pentecost? So that's what all that means, but they don't want you to know. They don't want you to know how to help yourself. Anyway, so when Aries, when the squaring is over, right? We should feel born again. We should feel like a heavy weight has been left off us. But when we look into our life, we should see some type of change, because remember, we planted those seeds in our heart chakra, right? We watered them, okay, because they should be in our heart chakra by now, right? We're in our heart, okay? And when we water those seeds and the burden is removed, now it starts to grow, okay? Like from under the rock, right? It starts to grow, and, or coming out the cave, right? Reburn, Pentecost, right? So, then you see those sprouts, and they start to feel good, right? You gotta keep them. It's up to you to protect it, to protect your growth. You don't go back to the old ways, because the transformation will be over. The galactic shift will have taken place, and there's no going back, because you can't change the universe, right? You can't make a comet ice and go back from where it came back backtrack. Can't make comet LLM backtrack. Can't make that comet that just left. Remember the asteroid just left. Go back. Can't do none of that, right? So you can't change the transformation, okay? But you got to protect it, okay? And you can't let the commercial. Don't adopt that commercial consciousness again. We work too freaking hard for it, okay? No more genocide, right? Anyway, so now, as we said, this means it will be the last phase of the global transformation or change. The change shall be complete, which means this is a serious change. It's a very serious change. It should be a permanent change. Okay, for some it will be the permanent change. They won't go back. They will not go back. Okay, some may think about going back. Okay, but there will be nothing to go back to. Okay, now, so the change will be permanent. There will be no more going back. All who will have gone through the transformation, foregoing social conditions or social isms, will graduate. Right? When the rock is removed, or when Uranus is removed, right? Uranus and Pluto are, no longer intercoursing. The change should be complete, okay? In our hearts, right? Our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and our souls, right? Because every aspect of life will have changed, okay? So we show, when the rock is removed and we see our sprouts, okay, and we begin to feel the change lighter, right? Emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, right? Mentally, because we see the seeds, sprouting, our spiritual seeds sprouting. We will be considered, it will be like an ascension. It will be like ascending. Okay, so be prepared and protected. Don't even think about going back. Okay, now, so it will be like a time of ascension, a conscious energy. Okay, 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 okay. That conscious energy is just written here, and I've just got to see where it's connected to. But anyway, so okay, so by planting the spiritual seeds from the crown to intercourse, from the crown chakra above the. Let me read that again, because this is some kind of detailed stuff. Anyway, so by planting the spiritual seeds by planting our spiritual seeds from our crown chakra. By planting them above the celestial belt to intercourse, by planting them above the celestial belt, okay, to intercourse with the conscious energy, or the conscious, the conscious energy, okay, is to witness a new garden growing, okay. We want to see it begin to develop by the next new moon in the dreamy waters of Pisces. Okay? So, now, we want to see the manifestation, the sprouts in Aries, right? Or the constellation of Aries. Arise. The sun arises again. The sun erects again, because this whole creation is about love. It's about intercourse. Okay? Intercourse below and, my mind is not really there, right? But I was going to say below the belt. But anyway, okay. It's about, this whole creation is about intercourse. Intercourse below the belt, and above the belt. So when the sun arises, okay, we talked about that. We want to see the manifestation, right? From all of our intercoursing, from our crown chakra, from all of our prayers, all of our actions, all of our deeds, right? We want to see some manifestation. But Okay, we should also begin to see a new garden start to grow in, which is a new world, right? A new world appear, a new world appear consciously, because it's going to take us to physically do the work. But consciously, we should begin to see the intention, the desire, the need to do it. And it should become more and more aggressive as, or the desire to do the will, to do the work, okay, should become more aggressive as time progresses, you know, throughout 2015, okay. Okay, so we should see we want to see a new garden appear, start to appear consciously in February, okay, in Pisces, the water, because now we showered them, we're showering them here in this Leo new moon with passion. We're showering them because their seeds are young, right? Then we're going to flood them in Pisces, the dreamy waters of Pisces, right? We're going to flood them with love and good intentions and more prayers. We're going to just flood those seeds above the belt, right? Yeah. Above and below, okay? Okay. You love the one. Love humanity, right? But that's also planting seeds above the belt. Okay, so we should see we should see a new garden start to grow start to begin to develop by the next new moon in the dreamy waters of February, by February 18th, 2015. Now, so that means you can begin to measure inside yourself. You start to get these urges, okay? These urges these drives, these desires to do something, you should start to begin to get motivated to do something. Those are the seeds beginning to take root, germinate. Those seeds that you planted in not April, but Ramadan and July, okay? There should start to germinate, and you should start to feel motivated to do something. And, you know, the desire, and it should get stronger. The drive should get stronger and stronger and stronger, right? Those are the germination and the seeds. The sprouts begin to sprout. Those are the ones, the intention in the heart. Don't let them be quashed. Don't let them be squashed out of your heart, okay? Don't let them be removed, okay? By trying to go back to the way it was, just because you see the world the same. The world consciously will not be the same. Okay? Now, if it tries to go back, it's only going to get worse. It ain't going to get better. It'll get worse. It can go forward and get better. And it can go backwards if you try to take it backwards, because there's nowhere to go. It's like going backwards and, you know, and going over, you know, there's nowhere to go. So that will make it, you know, not good. Okay? So you should start to feel some drive by the 2014, the anticipation, okay, to do something, the motivation. Don't let it be quashed out. And it's a motivation to do good. It will be a motivation to do good. You'll know by the signs. It will be the motivation to do good something good for the world. Something will drive you. Something that seems like something. And tell us something. You'll be thinking, God trying to tell you something. It's your soul speaking to you from all those seeds you planted. It's coming back. Okay, so I got that done. Let's go another one. Okay, let's pause here. Okay.